senior HR leaders, one of the topics that comes up is who should HR report to? Should you report to the COO, the CEO, or the CFO? My first response to that is it's a silly conversation, is you don't get a choice. The organization decides who you'll report to. And if you spend too much time worrying about who you report to, you won't get your job done, you won't have the maximum performance. And it's a catch-22. If you're a great performer and you produce strategic results, guess what? You get to report to the CEO. If all you do is produce operational results, you're going to end up reporting to the COO. If your capabilities are only low cost, providing minimum vanilla products, you're going to work for the cost-cutting leader, the CFO. So it's a catch-22. Who do you report to? Depends on the results you produce. Depends on the approach you utilize. Depends on your capabilities and your goals. I wouldn't worry about who I was going to report to. I'd worry about the criteria that it took to report to that person and say, well, how do I meet? And a CEO obviously is a higher level criteria to meet. So what does it take to report to CEO? Well, you're going to have an impact on 20–30% of the profit. You're going to have to show that you're strategic. You're going to have to show that you give a competitive advantage, or otherwise they're not going to consider it. Whichever one you report to, that doesn't mean you're exempt from impressing the others. So if you report to the CFO and they want finance, the CEO still wants strategic results, and the operational people in the COO want that. So you're not exempt. You're going to have to meet their criteria. So I recommend you find out what it takes to get funding or get support from the CEO, the COO, and CFO. And whichever one you report to, you still have to impress those other ones. You have to know what it takes. And those criteria are different. We've assembled those criteria. And I assure you, CEOs want top line growth, CFOs want bottom line. You want to try to impact their business goals, or more importantly, their bonus criteria. So wherever you report to, find out what they get a bonus on. And managers always say they care about people, but they care about their bonus more. And so if you know their bonus criteria, you can manage to those. You can show how you are increasing not just their business goals, but their bonus as a result of your activities. And the last thing, which is a little bit political, the one thing I would recommend is that you run executive search internally so that you end up hiring the CEO, the COO, and the CFO. It turns out if you're responsible for hiring them, they see you impress them, they're more likely to treat you the proper way after they get in office. So try to be involved in that. Most people outsource it for some crazy reason, so some external firm gets the credit, builds the relationships, and you don't. So try to be involved in identifying each of their criteria. Try to satisfy all three of them, no matter which one you report to. And once you report to one, take advantage of whatever they have to offer, but also try to impress the other two.